Central Bank of Nigeria sterilizes 3.57 trillion naira in 3 days amid liquidity surge. And on the foreign scene, JP Morgan seeks federal court shift in $5 billion from lawsuit. Now the news in details. The federal government is projecting a major expansion of Nigeria's mining sector, targeting $1 billion in annual foreign direct investment and the creation of 500,000 jobs by 2030. Under the newly unveiled Nigerian industrial policy, authorities aim to increase mining's contribution to gross domestic product from under 1% to 8% by 2030, rising further to 10% by 2035. The strategy positions solid minerals as a key pillar of economic diversification. Government data shows mining attracted about $100 million in foreign investment in 2022, up from $78 million in 2019. With improved regulatory reforms and investor engagement, officials believe annual inflows could reach $1 billion by 2025. The policy also outlines plans for mineral processing zones, industrial parks near mining belts, and financing support for artisanal miners as Nigeria seeks to move up the value chain and reduce raw material exports. In another development, the federal government has deferred 70% of the 2025 capital budget into the 2026 fiscal framework, citing the need for improved compliance and project continuity. Authorities say only 30% of the 2025 capital allocation will be implemented within the extended budget window, while the bulk will now be executed under the 2026 capital structure. Data from the Budget Office indicates that while over 18 trillion naira was appropriated for capital expenditure in 2025, actual releases between January and July stood significantly below projections, reflecting weak implementation performance. Meanwhile, finance officials maintain that sufficient funds are available but have directed ministries, departments, and agencies to strictly comply with procurement regulations to ensure transparency and fiscal discipline. And now the Central Bank of Nigeria has sterilized over 3.57 trillion naira within 3 days as part of aggressive liquidity management operations. Data from the Apex Bank shows that deposit money banks parked excess funds in the standing deposit facility, earning an overnight rate of about 22.8%, while open market operations and primary issuances further absorbed liquidity. The move follows sustained system liquidity estimated above 4 trillion naira, despite ongoing monetary tightening measures. Meanwhile, analysts said a large-scale sterilization reflects structural liquidity pressures rather than immediate funding stress, reinforcing the CBN's firm stance on inflation control and monetary stability. And now moving to telecommunication, Nigeria's bank and telecommunication operators have resolved the 4-year dispute over nearly 3 billion naira in unpaid USSD service fees. The Nigerian Communications Commission confirmed that the debt has now been fully cleared, stabilizing one of the most critical segments of Nigeria's digital financial ecosystem. The resolution follows the transition to an end-user billing model, under which USSD charges are deducted directly from customers' airtime at regulated rates, eliminating inter-industry settlement disputes. Industry stakeholders describe the settlement as a significant milestone that restores predictability to telecom revenues while safeguarding the sustainability of digital banking services. Electricity generation companies have disclosed that total sector indebtedness has risen to 6.5 trillion naira, with projections indicating it could reach 8.8 trillion naira by the end of the year. According to the GENCOs, monthly payment shortfalls persist, with only about 35% of industry invoices settled, creating mounting liquidity stress across the electricity value chain. Meanwhile, the federal government recently issued a 501 billion naira power sector bond under its debt reduction program, attracting full subscription from institutional investors. While the bond is expected to ease legacy arrears, industry operators warn that structural reforms in tariff design, gas supply, and transmission efficiency remain critical to long-term sustainability. Electronics giants LG Electronics has introduced artificial intelligence-powered home solutions across Middle East and African markets at regional exhibitions in Abu Dhabi and Nigeria. The company showcased integrated smart home systems designed to enhance energy efficiency and personalized user experience. Flagship products include AI-enabled laundry systems that automatically detect fabric types and load sizes to optimize performance and reduce energy consumption. The rollout underscores growing demand for intelligent appliances as consumers and business prioritize automation, energy savings, and connected living environments. We take a pause here, and up next are business stories from the foreign scene. Do stay with us.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV Business News. And now to the foreign scene. The National Bank of Rwanda has raised its benchmark interest rate by 50 basis points to 7.25%, tightening monetary policy to rein in inflationary pressures. Governor Soraya Hakuziyaremye announced the decision following the Monetary Policy Committee meeting, positioning Rwanda against a trend across several African economies. Urban inflation accelerated to 8.9%, a more than two-year high, exceeding the central bank's upper target band of 8%. Authorities expect inflation to remain elevated in the first half of 2026 before moderating later in the year. Meanwhile, the move underscores Rwanda's commitment to price stability, even as other central banks on the continent weigh rate cuts amid improving currency conditions and softer oil prices. United States banking giant JP Morgan Chase has filed to move President Donald Trump's $5 billion lawsuit from Florida state court to federal court, arguing the case was improperly structured. The bank contends that its chief executive, Jamie Dimon, was fraudulently included in the suit under a statute that exempts federally regulated banking executives acting in their official capacity. Trump's lawsuit alleged the bank removed him as a client in 2021 for political reasons and seeks damages of $5 billion. By shifting the case to federal jurisdiction, JP Morgan aims to challenge the legal foundation of the claim, setting up a high-profile courtroom battle with implications for banking regulation and corporate liability. And finally, e-commerce and cloud computing giant Amazon has surpassed Walmart to become the world's largest company by annual revenue. Amazon reported $717 billion in sales for 2025, edging past Walmart's $713 billion and ended the retailer's 13-year run at the top. Growth in Amazon Web Services, advertising, and subscription revenue significantly boosted overall performance, highlighting the company's diversified income streams beyond traditional retail, while Walmart remains dominant in physical retail and continues to expand its digital footprint. Amazon's technology-driven business model is reshaping the competitive landscape of global commerce. And finally, oil prices have climbed to their highest level in nearly 7 months amid escalating tensions between the United States and Iran. Brent crude rose to around $71 per barrel, while U.S. crude approached $66 as markets priced in potential supply disruptions linked to geopolitical risk in the Middle East. At the same time, gold surged above the $5,000 mark, reflecting strong investor demand for safe haven assets during periods of uncertainty. Analysts warn that any disruption to flows through the Strait of Hormuz, a critical artery for roughly 20% of global oil supply, could trigger supply shocks, increase inflationary pressures, and heighten global market volatility. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. I am Mary Agiobo. Bye for now.
latest Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing development.